Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors, and welcome to another box of beer. Basically, I joined the beer club. I've been in it now just over a year. Every month they send me a dozen beers, 6 different beers. It's normally 2 of each type, and it's normally 3 different breweries, 2 from each brewery. So normally they send me a letter in advance, let me know what's going to be in the box. Usually on the box here, I can't remember. This month I didn't get a email telling me what's in the box, so I don't know. Then again, maybe I did and I don't remember. Either way, I have no idea what's in the box. So it's going to crack it open and we'll see what we have and what beer I'm going to have tonight. This is actually the first box of my second year. I wasn't sure if I was going to renew, but then me and my buddy, we said, hey, it's beer every month, you can't go wrong. So, okay, and with the beer box comes a newsletter, and basically the newsletter says a little bit about all the different breweries and a little bit about each beer. And also has Did You Know? And for this month they said, Did you know? It says most microbrewed or craft brewed beer is unfiltered, which can lead to yeast deposits in the bottle, otherwise known as floaties or trauben. I've actually mentioned that many times. It says what makes this so beneficial from a health perspective is that the B complex vitamins, trace minerals of chromium and selenium are preserved in the beer since they're not filtered out during the brewing process, which helps maintain the health benefits that would otherwise be lost due to filtering. Alright, so let's see what we got. We have from Common Good, their small batch series out of Scarborough, a sparkling ale Citra. Interesting. And then from the same brewery, Common Good, small batch series again, dry hop Pilsner. And then we got from Shiloh Brew Company, a Roggenbier, and that's out of Ottawa. And a Roggenbier, I've Roggenbier. I've heard the name, I'm not quite sure offhand exactly what it is. And from the same brewery, we have an Amber Ale. And we get some smaller cans. Prince Eddie Brewing Company out of Prince Edward County, Picton, Ontario. I think I've done that brewery as well. This one is a Nano Rice Lager. And from the same brewery again, we have a Czech style lager. So now the big question is, what am I going to have tonight? And I'm going to look a little bit about that one that that Roggenbier. It says 50% barley and 50% rye, brewed with a Hefeweizen yeast, spicy and fruity rye flavors, and cradled by a luxurious and creamy mid-palate, opening to a tangy citrus and herb finish. And for the brewery itself, as I said, out of Ottawa, it says owned and operated by Jamie and Ben Shiloh, Shillow, hopefully I'm pronouncing correctly. Shiloh Beer Company is a small independent company committed to crafting interesting and delicious brews. Several years ago, Ben and Jamie started homebrewing. After a few batches of horrible beer, Jamie took things more seriously and found she really enjoyed this new hobby. Jamie enrolled in Niagara College's Brewmaster program, and by the time she graduated, Ben was putting the wheels in motion for Shiloh Beer Company. In 2021, following 7 years operating as a contract brewing operation, the duo took their wealth of experience in hospitality and brewing to their new home in Ottawa, a place they call their own. They hope to start construction in their taproom in 2022. It says Shiloh Beer Company is certified kosher by supervision of the Kashrut Council of Canada and the Ottawa Vad Hackensrush, OVH. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right, and I apologize for that. Alright, so I think I'm going to try that beer, the Roggenbier. Actually, I'm just going to quickly Google that to see if they have anything else to say about that style of beer. Bear with me for a second. Roggenbier. Let's see. It's a beer product produced with up to 60% rye malt. Originated in Bavaria. And actually, one second. No, that was. It says rye beer. Okay, so basically it's a rye beer. And rye is substitute from some portion of the barley. And it says Roggenbier is beer produced with up to 6% rye malt. Brewed with the same type of yeast as a German Hefeweizen. resulting in a similar light, dry, tasting, spicy taste. Alright, so I'm not quite sure what to think about that. I'm just giving my glass a quick cold water rinse. I'm not a liquor drinker, so the whole rye thing might turn me off if there's any rye flavor. I've had different beers that were matured in different casks. One was a whiskey cask, one was a rye cask, and I really didn't enjoy those. Now this one wasn't matured, but they say rye instead of barley, so I might not get any liquor flavor as such. So it's pretty cloudy, so as we already talked about, a lot of craft beers are unfiltered, and this is obviously one of those. A lot of people actually with craft beers, unfiltered beers, they'll leave the last a little bit, they'll let it settle, so the floaties or the shrub, or what do you call it? Shrub, settles in the bottom, they'll pour it and kind of leave an inch or so. Other people, they just dump it all in, and that's kind of what I do. Alright, so quite cloudy, it's almost like a yellow muddy type thing. A little bit of head, not a lot. Typical, for me I'd almost say typical wheat ale. A lot of wheat ales you get the taste of cloves and bananas, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the situation with this one. But there's only one way to find out. This is actually probably one of the cloudiest beers I've had yet. Let's see how it tastes. Definitely tastes like a Hefeweizen wheat beer. Interesting. I definitely get this spiciness there. Not extreme, but it's definitely there. And I'm definitely getting, I'm not sure if it's the cloves or the bananas, aroma and the taste, but it's not as strong as other wheat beers that I've had. Rather tasty. I just want to see what they said again. 50% barley, 50% rye with Hefeweizen yeast. Spicy and fruity. Rye flavors. I'm definitely getting a little bit of spicy. They say creamy mid-palate. Definitely find a little bit creamier mouthfeel. And they're saying a tangy, citrus, and herbal finish. It's interesting. And it is definitely, they say, creamy palate. And just from the thickness of it, I mean, it is extremely cloudy, so I can see where that's coming from. Not a lot of aftertaste, and I like that. I'm not a big fan of beers that you taste them and the aftertaste lingers. Not overly carbonated. I've had some yeast beers that have been quite a bit of carbonation there, quite a bit of head. I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying to think rating wise. My ratings are always 1 out of 5, with a 1 being a drain pour. I'm literally going to pour it down the drain. It's that bad. A 2 is like, yeah, I'm not a fan, but I won't waste it. So, you know, I can definitely finish it. A 3 is a good beer. A 4 is a very good beer. And a 5 would be the best beer ever. This one, pretty straightforward for me, a 3.5. So between a good beer and a very good beer. It's definitely one I'm enjoying. I don't think it would ever be my go-to beer, but I would never pass one up. If I was, you know, sitting around a campfire and somebody had a 6-pack and they offered me a couple, by all means, I'd definitely have a couple of them. Pretty straightforward. Yep, pretty straightforward. 3.5 for the Roggenbier from Shiloh Beer Company, which is coming in at 5.5% alcohol. So there you go, folks. Obviously, I got 5 more beers here, and I think I still got 1 left from last month. So the next couple of weeks, we'll get through those. So until next brew, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.